Pennsylvania is the latest state to consider non-discrimination bills to provide special protections for gay and transgender people. Lawmakers say the bill will help the LGBT community, but opponents say it will undermine religious freedom and have a negative impact on children. For example, the bill protects gender identity or expression for education programs. That's being compared to California's new gender equality law. It allows transgender boys to use girls' locker rooms and showers and vice versa. For more on this issue, I recently spoke with Dr. Linda Mental, a licensed family therapist. Talk about the potential impact of this. I mean, kids would be able to see kids with a different sexual orientation in the locker room, possibly naked.
I know, and I don't think they've really thought this through, to be honest with you. We're talking about a small group of children or teens that will declare themselves. And they can do this by saying that today they feel like a girl, so they can go into then the boys' or the girls' locker room. So it's going to be very confusing. And one of the issues I was thinking just of some of the ramifications, like what if a naked boy is in the locker room in a high school and a girl has been sexually abused or raped and she sees that boy? What if she starts to have flashbacks or has problems? What if there are kids in there that feel violated by the nudity or violated by that, and they're not comfortable with that kind of personal disclosure? Where are their rights and their boundaries? So I think it raises a lot. And one of the things I really would want to know is, are they going to immediately start studies then on the impact of the kids who are not transgendered and what that's doing to them? I bet you won't see too many of those studies going on in terms of the impact on them, and that's where we're concerned.
That's a huge concern. Well, is this law the best way to help people who identify themselves as transgender?
You know, look, I know that there's a lot of struggle and there's a lot of anxiety. I've worked with a lot of transgendered teenagers and young adults, and they really struggle in this area and don't know what to do. But when you start to legislate things and expect people then to just have no reaction to the people, it's not a way of helping them. I think this is best served by working one-on-one, by getting groups to be nicer, understand the dynamics, and take a different approach with the anxieties and the struggles.
Wow. Well, in our culture, we all know that it's become taboo to question whether homosexuality is a sin or not, or whether gender confusion is a problem. How should Christians begin to engage in culture in this situation?
I think this is a very important point, because what has happened is when it was decided that issues of morality then became civil rights issues, then there is no way to talk about it, no way to question it. Because if it's not a question of morality, which there are many of us that from a religious viewpoint believe that these are morality questions. We want to talk about this from a biblical concept and from a morals concept. But when it's framed as a civil rights issue, the minute you bring it up, you're discriminating, you're intolerant, you're a bigot, you're whatever. And so you can't have a conversation. So I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to go back to the words of Jesus. And we're going to have to win them by our love. And it's our love to people that are struggling with all these issues that's really going to come down to the point. Because in the public marketplace, the minute you take it on, you're intolerant. But yet no one has tolerance for the view of the Christian who has a different approach.
Absolutely correct. Dr. Linda Mental, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time and your insights.
Tough times. Thanks for having me.